It's time now for Spears on Sports with John Spears, presented by M&M Carnage. And now, here's Johnny.
And Tony.
Hope you had a great weekend, great long weekend. Spears on Sports presented by M&M Carnage. John Spears, Tony Vert, and Scooter Dingus here on this Monday, and I officially got nothing to talk about. I had a 4-day weekend, Scooter. I got nothing.
How was the casino?
It was not good to me.
Uh-oh.
They were mean to me.
Golf wasn't good to us.
They didn't give me any money back that I lost. They just kept it all.
Our golf guys did.
Our golf guys
made a move.
We got to pick some games today, guys. We got to pick. All right, we're gonna hit today.
Yeah.
Now we're not gonna make any money because I'm gonna guess we're gonna take all favorites.
We don't take favorites in this place.
Great. Well, then we're not gonna make any money. You're right. I'm watching Djokovic. He lost the first set 6-1 to De Minaur. And that's how they were saying it on ESPN, Scooter.
De Minaur?
Alex De Minaur. He's Australian. But Joker in trouble. So he is serving to win the second set. It is Monday, July 7th. Welcome to the month of nothing going on. I am allowed to talk football now.
ISCO's this week.
The ISCO Championship at Hurstbourne Country Club this weekend. It's also Scottish Open weekend. It's also Rosewood Open weekend.
Yes, it is.
I will be in Lebanon. Tony will be in Lebanon.
Who's the defending champion?
No show Friday. He is in the studio, and it's not me.
It's not Scoot.
And it's not Scoot.
Thank you.
So no show Friday, Scooter. Early warning.
I don't have a show Friday either.
I'll be on the golf course.
I won't be here, so I'll let Matt know.
Let Matt know. I'll be on the golf course at Rosewood for the Rosewood Open. How many years is this, Tony?
30, maybe 34, 35.
Think about that, Scooter. We started this tournament the year you were born. How about that? Or somewhere around that.
And I haven't missed one.
I missed a few. It started at Brightleaf in Lawrenceburg.
Yes.
It moved for, I think, when was Mammoth Cave?
Mammoth Cave we went 1 year.
Park Mammoth.
That's when it was a dump.
I didn't play that year, so that's why I was asking.
We went down to Georgetown.
Went to Georgetown, Kentucky for 1 year. I did play that year.
Yeah. And then we've been in
then Pine Valley
for a double-digit year.
A long time.
Yeah.
They had a double dogleg par 5, the 11th. I'll never forget it.
Yeah. Joey,
I called it a par 7.
Hey, Scoot, Joey 1 year hit his tee shot, then hit his second one and his third one above a window on a house, and there was a bullet hole right above the window. By the green. It was there for a few years.
And if they hadn't sold that place, we'd still be there. If they hadn't gone semi-private, we'd still be there.
Nah, we want it out.
Yeah, but we'd still be there. But Randy Cordray, I'm going to give him his name. He runs the whole tournament. 20 of us go down there every year. We've been at Rosewood for nearly 10 years now, if not more.
Longer than that.
Yeah. They're great to us. I mean, you show up, you get ice, take your own alcohol, your own beer out on the course. They got cabins. They leave us alone.
Up in the woods.
They leave us alone.
Keep our golf carts the whole weekend.
Yeah. You get your golf cart on Friday, you turn it back in on Sunday.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. We shouldn't be saying this. Other people will take our spot next year.
They can't take our spot because we're locked in.
They'll try. I know that.
Crowded down there, though.
So all the nicknames will be there, Scooter.
Love it.
Joey 1 Ear, Big Al the Fish, Becco, all the nicknames will be there. Slugger.
Joby, Tano. You name it.
So that's this weekend. So 3 big tournaments on the horizon: the ISCO, the Scottish Open, and the Rosewood Open. I got a Rosewood Open shirt on today. If you're watching on YouTube, it says Rosewood Open right there on the sleeve.
And I don't.
Are we on YouTube?
We're on YouTube.
I can see the little light on.
Hello to the. Can you really? Oh yeah. Okay. Hello to the watchers and also to the listeners. Welcome to the program already in progress. M&M Carnage Hotline is open. 502-384-1450. If you'd like to join in on the conversation, 384-1450. The Gameday Men's Health text line open as well, 502-414-1450. Gameday Men's Health, redefining men's wellness. No shortcuts, just results. Testosterone, peptides, weight loss, and sexual performance therapy. Visit GamedayMen'sHealth.com, defining a new era in men's health. And hit me up on the text line, 502-414-1450. 1450. It looks like our boy Buzz is going to help you out, Tony.
Yeah, I'm going to text him. I'm trying all different avenues. I'm throwing it out all over the
Tony's
city.
going to Boston in September, and I think he wants to go to a Yankee game in Fenway Park.
That's
right?
the problem.
Oh,
That could be the problem.
I can get tickets. I've looked online. They're just expensive.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for the best angle.
You can get tickets.
Which everybody does when they go.
If you're independently wealthy like Tony Burke and John Spears, you can get tickets to anything you want.
That's true.
If I wanted to go to Game 7
Do it.
in Oklahoma City this past year, I could have gone.
You know what, my brother-in-law, Steve, what he does is he goes, he's been to the playoffs. Like, he went to a Predators game one time, and he said, we went down, and we waited to the last minute. He goes, you might not get in or whatever, but it's a 3-day series we're going to. It's the first game. And he's like, go be close. When the prices start dropping, they start panicking because they're not going to sell their tickets. You get a decent
Jump
ticket.
on them.
And then if you don't get it for that one, then you just, buy them for the one after it or whatever.
There you go.
There's different ways, but I'm just looking for anybody. And I know Buzz is, I've got the text. Scooter sent me and you sent me, so Buzz listening. I'll be in touch with him. But I got feelers out for everybody.
Don't wait by the phone, Buzz. All right. We had our second, I think it's our second managerial firing, or third. It's our third. Colorado got rid of Bud Black. Baltimore got rid of Brandon Hyde. And now yesterday, happy 4th of July weekend in the nation's capital, the Nats fired Davey Martinez and general manager Mike Rizzo. They won the title in 2019 with Dave Martinez and Mike Rizzo on board here.
That was so 6 years ago.
It was so 6 years ago, but Rizzo has been a really good drafter of talent. It's an odd time. The draft is this week, starts Thursday. It's a very odd time to fire your really good general manager who has brought talent into the organization. But as you said, Tony, sometimes you just want to, you need a cleanse, right?
Well, every time they get a good player, they end up leaving after 3 or 4 years.
Well, that's
they won't pay.
Exactly. That's a management problem. That's a small market issue.
Yeah, it's exactly what.
Do you think Paul Skeens is going to be in Pittsburgh 5 years from now?
He's not?
He's not. In fact, can I get odds on that?
Sorry, Pirate fans.
You seen the latest stats on him?
Stupid.
Makes me sick.
Okay. Clayton Kershaw got named to the All-Star team yesterday. It's called a legendary pick. Now, he's 4-0. He's 4-0. His ERA is under 4 since he's come back from injury.
It's as many wins as Paul.
So he's good. Exactly. It might be more.
Paul has 4.
So I understand they did this with Miguel Cabrera. They did it with somebody else, too, on the National League side that same year. They have legends. They call them Commissioner's Choice Legends.
It's a good move.
I like it. But now the clamor is, he's 4-0. It's a slim start. Paul Skeens is going to start the All-Star game for the second year in a row. I know he's 4-7. Does that sound right, Scooter?
That sounds right.
But I don't want to see Clayton Kershaw start the All-Star game. I want to see Paul Skeens against Tarek Skubal. That's what I want to see.
I got Skeens' number right here.
I know they're only going to pitch 1 inning. I get that. But if you want me to watch, those two guys better be starting.
Okay, I'm going to work backwards here. His whip is .92, which
That's
is
crazy.
6th in the league. His strikeouts
Who's
are 1
better than .92?
I don't know. It just has his numbers. Strikeouts, 125.
Probably Kershaw.
He's 8th in strikeouts. ERA, he's 2nd at 1.94, and he's 4-7th, which is 96th in the league.
He has allowed 25 earned runs in 19 starts and has 4 wins.
And it's his 2nd year in professional baseball.
Are they being careful with him? Now, you're the Pirates, so you're in last place in the Central. You're not going anywhere. The last thing you want is for your meal ticket to get hurt. They're pulling him after 5 and 6 innings.
But when he pitches at home, they're getting big crowds.
They show up.
Yeah.
Guess when they leave?
When he goes out of the game.
Exactly. It's probably about 9 o'clock in Pittsburgh when he gets taken out of the game. Let's go have some late dinner. Right?
Yeah.
All right. look up Zach Wheeler's numbers. Because Zach Wheeler's got incredible numbers, too. He is an all-star. And I'm going to talk about some of these snubs, too, especially in the National League. Juan Soto didn't get picked. Now, keep this in mind. Scooter, keep this in mind.
I'm keeping.
You have the voting process, which is new. Then then it gets down to two guys at each position. They vote on you vote on that for like 3 days. That gets the start. The players select the subs. The player vote selects the subs. So are these just guys the players don't like? Juan Soto didn't get in.
It's like the Caitlin Clark thing.
His WAR,
I just hate him.
His WAR for the last month and a half is the best in the league, other than Aaron Judge. It's the best in Major League Baseball. But do they just not like the fact that he's getting $750 million? Well, it's the first time he's not making an all-star team.
They can only vote for so many guys, so they probably pick a few guys, and he's been left out in a lot of them. But you're asking me about Zach Wheeler.
Yes. Give me some of his numbers.
Zach Wheeler is 9-3, fourth in the league. ERA 2.17,
Yep.
fifth in the league. Strikeouts 148, tied for second. And you're wondering who's ahead of Skeens in WHIP?
Yes.
He's .84.
There you go.
He's second.
He's the only guy I could have thought of, at least in the I mean, Scooble probably is. But in the National League, he's the only guy I would have thought of that maybe had a better whip than Paul Skeens.
Besides for ERA, his numbers are all better than Skeens.
Did you say 148 strikeouts?
Yes.
Oh, is that first?
Second. Tied for second.
Who's better than that? That's so many.
Is this Major Leagues or National League?
This is season stats. I think it's in the Major League.
Okay, so Scooble probably has more strikeouts. Would be my
I'll
guess.
see if I can find strikeouts.
That's an insane number of strikeouts already.
It is. That's what most people get in a year if they're lucky.
Zach Wheeler. Oh, man.
His numbers were helped yesterday.
By the way, Mookie Betts didn't make the All-Star team either. And here's the one I got a problem with, and I know I'm biased, but Seiya Suzuki of the Cubs, the other two outfielders, well, Happ didn't make it, but Pete Crow Armstrong got voted in, Kyle Tucker got voted in. They are both starting the All-Star game. So I understand you get into a numbers game, every team has to have a representative. Even the Rockies, even the Marlins, everybody has to have somebody on the team. I get that. But Suzuki hit another homer last night. He is the first Cubs player with 25 homers and 75 RBIs before the All-Star break since Sammy Sosa in 2001.
He was pretty good, wasn't he?
So I guess we need to check Seiya for the juice. But other than that,
that's when Sammy was dark complected.
25 and 75, and he's not in the All-Star game. I got a problem with that.
Well, there's so many, and you're going to go team by team. Home runs,
here's who the players
stuff are higher, John, than they've ever been.
You're right, but he leads the league in RBIs. Here's who the players voted for reserves at each position. In the outfield, they selected James Wood of Washington. He's having a great year.
Having a great year.
Corbin Carroll, who's been hurt, of the Diamondbacks.
He has been hurt.
And Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Padres.
So the players vote for that? There's not?
Yeah, the players vote for reserves at each position.
Well, you would think Tatis would be a guy.
They also had Kyle Stowers of Miami made it because the Marlins had to have a representative. Bottom line there. So unless Soto is later added, which he might be, as an injury replacement, he'll miss his first All-Star game since his first full season, which was 2019.
Probably glad he got home, doesn't have to go.
The Dodgers have the most representatives with 5. And by the way, Dodgers just got swept at home by Houston, and it wasn't pretty. 18-1 the second game. 18-1. You were delayed. You probably didn't see any of this.
But the other games were real low scoring.
6-4. I wouldn't call that low scoring. That'd get me an over.
Oh, I turned it almost 1-0.
That'd get me an over.
Yes, they did score after that. Well, you were asking me about strikeouts, Scoot.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think's ahead of Wheeler?
It's not Scooble?
Scooble's tied with him for second.
For strikeouts.
Give
me the league.
Hunter Brown?
It's in the American League East.
American League
Ooh.
East. Max Fried.
Nope.
American League East.
Of people out there, shoot it in here. Get it on the text line before these guys.
Brian Bale?
Brian Bale. Come on. What the hell is that? What kind of guess is that? It's not Rodon.
Nope.
Yankees, Red Sox,
It's got to be a Blue Jay.
Orioles,
I just can't think of any Blue Jay pitchers.
Barrios.
The Red Sox.
It's a Red Sox. Oh,
Heck.
Garrett Crochet.
Crochet.
Oh.
Crochet's got 151.
Yeah,
We should have got that.
should have got it.
I gave you the division. I had to go after the team a little later.
So the Yankees have 5, but that's only because Kershaw has been named as a legend by the commissioner. They got the pitcher Yamamoto, Shohei, of course, Freddie Freeman, and Louisville native Will Smith from the Dodgers. The Tigers and the Mariners have 4 each. The Mariners. Now, Cal Raleigh's obvious. The
Big dumper.
I just got to say it, the big dumper.
Hit another one that night.
The also has Brian Wu, Seattle pitcher, is having a great year.
Woo!
Andres Munoz, no idea, and Julio Rodriguez. Tigers have Tarek Skubal, of course. I got to guess he's going to be the starting pitcher here. Riley Green, Gleyber Torres, who's having a great year, and Javier Baez.
He got voted.
Yeah, he was voted as a starter. I like that. Now, he's going to be comeback player of the year unless he gets hurt. Or he hits 100 in the second
And if
half.
they need him to play shortstop, he'll go play shortstop.
He's doing that. Our boy Sweeney hit a home run. You texted me yesterday. 3-run homer in the 10th.
Opposite way off the foul pole, or the fair pole. They should call that the fair pole.
It should be the fair pole. Jacob deGrom, finally healthy, will make the All-Star team. That's good for Tony's.
Top 5 ERA in the league. I was looking at him just a second ago.
He's 9-2 with a 2.13.
Who do you think has the best ERA in baseball?
Is it a reliever? It's a start. Hunter Brown.
182. Ski.
Yeah, I think I heard that last week.
1.94. Skubal 2.02. DeGrom 2.13. And Zach Wheeler 2.17. Those are some numbers, sports fans.
Sports fans. By the way, there were a lot of sweeps this weekend. We'll talk more about that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There were 9 possible sweeps, and 6 of those were completed this weekend. So I did not make any money there either, Scooter, just for the record. All right, we'll take a break. More baseball because there's nothing else to talk about. Although NBA Summer League starts on Thursday, Tony, and Cooper Flagg will take on the Lakers Thursday night on ESPN. How about that? Well, the Dallas Cooper Flags. I mean, let's give them their actual name. We'll take on the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll take a break. Birthday's coming up as well. Spears on Sports presented by M&M Cartage. Big A. Welcome back. Spears on Sports, presented by M&M Carnage. John Tony Scooter on this Monday. Looks like we're going to have good weather this weekend, at least temperature-wise.
Yeah,
I don't know about the rain.
We might hit a shower here and there, but that's
temperature-wise, not in the 90s. You got to be happy with that.
Two things John doesn't want to hear is heat and cart path only.
We might get cart path only if it rains.
I've got a big golf weekend as well, so I'm hoping it doesn't rain either.
Which Open are you playing in, Scooter?
I'm playing in some big scramble up in Cincinnati that my dad and his brothers play every year. It's my second year going, so looking forward to that. But we'll play 27 plus 18. We'll play 45 holes prior to the scramble, so big golf weekend.
We used to play 90, including the scrambles. 18.
We don't, but everybody else does.
36, 36, and 18.
Didn't y'all play 99 last year?
I did.
I remember being ticked off that you didn't play one more.
I did not.
Some people go down Thursday and play 9 holes Thursday.
I played 9 holes last year on Thursday.
So 99. But now, Saturday, the tournament round has been shortened because we're old guys to 9 holes. If you want to play 18, you can, but only the first 9 count toward the tournament.
And
so after those 9 holes,
everybody plays 18.
Except after those 9 holes, my big ass is going to be in the air conditioning.
Be watching from the front porch.
Well, they got rid of the pool down there at Rosewood a couple years ago, which is devastating to me. They got rid of the pool to put in, what, Tony, more condos? So there's no pool. So I just sit in the AC.
Water in the summertime is great.
Oh, God.
I must have spent 24 hours in the water this weekend.
By the way, I can't go to Becco's tomorrow.
Neither can I. So that works out.
Okay, it works out. I'm dropping off my wife's. My wife leaves for Bulgaria tonight. Yeah, you heard me right. Bulgaria.
It'll be awesome.
For who?
Her.
Oh, I thought you were going to say me.
Jamie, I would never say that. He might.
Oh, she ain't listening. Don't worry. I wouldn't have said it if she was listening. She can go back to the podcast, though, can't she? Or to YouTube. So I got to drop her car off at the shop tomorrow. I got a 12:45 appointment, so I can't go to Becco's.
Scooter, I learned a long time ago, you don't say that and say they're not listening, because then somebody calls them and tells them that's listening, or they just happen to turn it on at that moment.
If she's going to leave me over that, then she was going to leave me anyway.
I just think it's funny. It's like, well, she ain't listening.
All right, M&M Cards Hotline's open, 384-1450, 502-384-1450. If you'd like to join in on the conversation. Game Day Men's Health text line open as well, 502-414-1450. That's the number to text the show, 414-1450. Novak Djokovic won the second set against Alex de Minaur, and they have just begun playing the third set. So
he's down 1-0. I just looked at it.
It's 1-1. I just said that.
Oh, they didn't update it on here then.
Well, I see.
John, you don't listen.
If you're not going to listen to me,
John. Don't say I don't listen.
If you're not going to listen to me, I can't help it when you give false information.
I'm not listening.
I'm not getting. Y'all been friends for as long as you have. I'm not getting in the middle of this.
I can't help it, Scoot. If I give him the information and then he debunks it by going to information that's old, I can't help that. That's not my fault. I don't watch a lot of tennis. I know Randall L. loves tennis, but I do watch Wimbledon and I do watch U.S. Open. U.S. Open, man. It's loud. You're in New York. You know what I mean? You're in Queens, Arthur Ashe Stadium, Billie Jean King Stadium. They got 2 now. And I long for the days when it was John McEnroe and Jimmy Connors. Those were great. Scooter, you're too young to remember those.
I know.
Man, those were awesome because the crowd took sides. Now you just, Joker's playing, we got to pull for Joker. Right? Nadal was playing, they had to pull for Nadal. Roger Federer had to pull for him. They don't take sides anymore. Now, I think it might change with this center guy being so good because some people like him, some people hate him. But they all love Federer, they all love Joker, they all love Nadal.
His name's Sinner. How can you like him?
Exactly.
He's a sinner.
There's a new movie
Alcaraz is good.
Alcaraz is really good, especially on the clay. In fact, he's the number 1 seed. I think he won Wimbledon last year, if I'm not mistaken. All right, back to a little baseball here. Did you see the throw from O'Neal Cruz yesterday, Tony?
No, I did not.
105.2 miles per hour. 105.2, Scooter.
It's crazy.
And obviously the guy at home was out. It was close. He didn't slide. If he slides, first of all, he's probably safe. You watching the video right now?
I'm trying to find it.
See if you can find it. If he slides, he's safe. It's J.P. Crawford of Seattle. But he doesn't. The catch, I guess it was Henry Davis catching, although I had to be confirmed on that. He caught it as his glove was hitting the player. It was an unbelievable play by Davis, too. But the throw from center field, 105.2. Now, the question I have is, and I know you have momentum coming toward the plate, how fast can he throw a pitch from the mound if you're O'Neal Cruz? He's got to be able to throw it 95 miles an hour, right?
You would think.
If he can throw it 105.2 with momentum coming toward the plate, he's got to be able to just stand on that mound and throw it 95 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of position players.
Well, I know Ichiro could probably do that back in the day. Dave Parker, where God rest his soul, could probably do it.
There's more than you think because these guys got guns. I'm watching it.
Most of them pitched in high school anyway.
That Mariners guy's an idiot.
Well, you got to slide.
If you slide, he's safe by a mile.
But, Scooter, here's my question. Where is he in relation to when Cruz picks up the ball? Because he had to think when the ball went out to the outfield, he's probably watching the ball going, there's no way anybody on this earth can throw me out. That's what he has to be thinking.
When Cruz picks it up, he is at third.
Because J.P. Crawford can run now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a leadoff hitter, base stealer. He can run. The throw was unbelievable. You just don't see it.
We got deked by the catcher, but you don't look at the catcher. You look at the guy on deck that's telling you to get down.
Here's my question. Was he telling him to get down? Because he might have thought there's no way he throws him out also.
You know what? Whoever was standing back there ought to be their butt.
He wasn't doing anything.
He wasn't doing anything?
He was just standing there, yeah.
He probably was going, oh, my God, look at that throw. Not helping his teammate at all.
He was almost safe anyway, wasn't he, Scoot?
Almost.
He was.
And Davis, I think it was Davis, made a great play.
Yeah.
But to unleash one, and the reason, I know everybody can do that, Tony. I know what you're saying. But they get miles per hour on everything now.
Oh, yeah.
And when you see 105, I don't know. I'm not sure everybody can do 105, or a lot of them can do 105.
Yeah. No, there's not hardly anybody. And he get a little crow hop, too, get you a little momentum. But that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Throw.
But could he throw from the mound 95?
Oh, I bet he could. Heck, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, the draft I talked about this week, one of the number one picks is going to be Ethan Holiday. He's either going to go one or two.
Brother of Jackson?
Brother of Jackson. So Jackson was drafted number one, I think 2, maybe 3 years ago, but I think it was 2 years ago. So Matt Holiday's sons could go number one in the draft 2 out of 3 years. That's crazy. And you brought up a good point, Tony. These kids grew up in the dugout. They grew up on the major league ballparks.
You're in the batting cages.
They got to hit anytime they wanted, take ground balls, shag fly balls. They were always around it. They know nothing else. Jackson Holiday probably knows nothing else except going to school and going to the ballpark. That's it.
Well, his mama raised him, you know.
And Ethan, same thing.
Y'all don't watch the MLB draft, do you?
By the way, Kate Anderson.
Kate
Anderson, the LSU pitcher, is the other choice that might. By the way, who's got the number one pick? You guys know the answer to this?
No.
Washington Nationals just fired their manager. Now maybe Rizzo said, we're gonna draft so and so, and the boss said we don't want to draft him. Well, that's who I'm going to draft. Well, I guess you're all fired because now you're not drafting. So I'll be interested to see who goes number one. Now, the Major League Baseball, you know what I watched, Scooter?
Mm-hmm.
When Hunter Green was going to get drafted, believe it or not.
Okay.
And he was the 10th overall pick. I remember it like it was yesterday. He was the 10th overall pick by the Cincinnati Reds. And the only reason I watched that draft was to see where he'd get drafted. And as soon as he got drafted, I changed the channel.
I just can't do it. It's just too long.
It's long. They're trying to make it interesting by adopting they have the players there, just like the NBA, just like the NFL. Have the players on hand, have them sitting there in the green room with their families, waiting to get drafted. They're trying a lot to get people to watch, but it's the problem is, other than 3 or 4 guys, you haven't heard of any of these people, especially if they're high schoolers. You haven't heard of any of them.
Well, at least they took it down from, what was it, 40 rounds?
Yeah. Mike Piazza was drafted in the 37th round.
Was he really?
He's a Hall of Famer. I'm sure I'm guessing this, Tony, there are probably guys that weren't drafted.
Oh, yeah.
That were Hall of Famers. Now, I know foreign players, I get that, but American players drafted.
Yeah, guys are free agents that don't get drafted.
Yeah.
They go minor leagues and stuff. Hey, this is really interesting. Since the StatCast era, Aaron Hicks of the Yankees in 2016 threw a ball 105.5. That's the hardest one thrown from the outfield. So O'Neal Cruz, what 102.5?
You should have seen the wind that day, though.
Yeah, but check this out. So Cruz threw one 102.5,
105.2,
105.2. In May, he had the hardest hit ball since StatCast tracking, a home run at PNC Park that left the bat at 122.9 and smashed into the Allegheny River.
Get in front of that one.
So he's thrown one of the hardest balls ever thrown from the outfield, and the hardest ball hit since they've been doing it is done by O'Neal Cruz. 6'7".
What are the odds?
He's probably hit 25 mile an hour on the base paths, too.
What are the odds that the same guy did both those things?
And what are the odds that he's going to be with the Yankees here soon?
Or the Dodgers. They might be the Dodgers.
But Scoot, you put O'Neal Cruz and Taylor Cruz on the same team. You got a 6'7", 6'5", two Jets.
Too many Cruzes.
It's my dream two guys to have.
And you know, until he got hurt, he was a shortstop.
Oh yeah.
They put him out of the outfield, but we don't want him to get hurt like that again.
Well, I think
he got hurt sliding into home.
I think the Reds had thought about putting Elliott out in center field too. You know, I mean, you got guys that can run like that, and guys have great arms.
And you put that arm out there too.
A lot of shortstops go to center field.
Yeah, I'm a grumpy old man, admittedly, but my problem with a lot of players, and O'Neal Cruz falls into this category, and he got sat earlier in this year for not running out a ground ball, is lack of hustle. How hard is it if you bat 4 times a game? 4 times a game if you bat. And you hit, let's just say for argument's sake, you hit 3 ground balls a game. You can't run hard to first base 3 times. 3 times in that day.
John, I've never not run hard in a softball game.
That's my problem with O'Neal Cruz. And that's my problem with Marcell Ozuna. That's my problem with Manny Machado. That's my problem with Juan Soto. Juan Soto got benched earlier this year for a game for not running out a ground ball. How can you...
No, his was a homer that he just didn't...
Oh, he thought it was a homer.
He hit it off the wall in Fenway.
Yeah, and he got
was standing on first.
Yeah, you're right. I'm stand corrected once again. You're making $750 million. Run to first. Run hard. That's it. I mean, I'm paying $100 for my family to go to a game, more than $100 if I take my whole family. For me and my wife to go to a game, I'm paying $100, and you're not going to run hard to first base, and you're making $750 million. That's the problem I have with some of these guys. And maybe that's a grumpy old man thing, but I think it's more of a respect the game kind of thing. My gosh. You run hard to first base.
Talking about Juan Soto, do you know who got traded for him?
Is this San Diego trade or Washington trade?
Washington.
Wood
and Mackenzie Gore.
And they're both the All-Stars this year, and Soto's not, by the way.
I was reading about Soto, and it came down to the two of the guys traded for him are on the All-Star team.
You know, Mike Rizzo. That's all I'll say. Mike Rizzo. Somebody's going to hire that guy.
You know, he drafted Strasburg. He drafted Joe Gonzalez, all those guys.
Bryce Harper.
Yeah, Bryce Harper.
Of course, I could have drafted Bryce Harper. That was an easy one.
Yeah, Rendon. I mean, all those guys.
And look at that trade. Look at that trade. That's a prime example. James Wood is going to be a star.
Yeah.
Now the problem,
nobody knows who he is.
The problem is he's
in Washington.
You don't see him. He's in Washington, D.C., playing for a bad team. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with birthdays. We'll check out what happened this weekend in the majors. Yankees-Mets was this weekend as well. That was a fun series. Spears on Sports, presented by M&M Cartage. Big Guy.
This world that we're living
Welcome back. Fierce on Sports, presented by M&M Carnage, John, Tony, Scooter. Final segment on this Monday. M&M Carnage shot line is closed.
What are they going to do? Come on, Scoot. Louder than that. There you go.
Game Day Men's Health text line is still open. 502-414-1450. Scoots, I was at an 80th birthday party yesterday.
Nice.
For my brother's mother-in-law. And his brother-in-law says to me, hey, I listen to you guys all the time. This was up in the Knobs yesterday. I was up in the Knobs.
Lucky you.
And he said, I listen to you guys. He goes, I love the birthdays. I go, yeah, we got a new thing. He goes, yeah, I know, Scooter rates them. I go, yeah.
The Scoot meter.
The Scooter meter. He goes, I love it. So there you go.
Love it.
There you go.
You going to pick our teams first?
Well, let's pick our teams first so we get this out of the way. This is the new 3-team parlay.
Get my cash out.
We are actually going to put money up today and take 3 teams. All they got to do is win. Whatever they're favored by or underdogs does not matter. Don't even take that into consideration as Tony throws me a $5 bill. We're going to bet a $15 parlay. Scooter, I'm going to let you go first. Who you got there?
Oh, don't let me go first.
Why not?
You want me to go?
You want to go second?
I'm
you
just not confident. Yeah, let me go second.
Tony, I'll let you go first.
I'm going with a visiting team
Okay.
in Detroit, the
Okay.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Ooh, that's a bold choice.
Do you see the picture?
Shane Boz is really good.
8-3 coming in, and Detroit is undecided.
Well, Montero's who I got.
Is that what it said? Mine says undecided.
What's your odds say?
Tampa Bay minus 125, Detroit plus 105.
I got 123. So
And with Tampa Bay being a favorite in Detroit, that's why I'm going.
okay, all right. Tampa Bay. You want me to go or you want to go?
I'll go.
All right.
I'm going to just take the Blue Jays. They're 171 on the money line, but Barrios pitching. I think that's a game they win over the White Sox.
I thought about that one.
Toronto in Chicago. I think you're taking more against Chicago, who won 2 out of 3 in Colorado this weekend. By the way,
I think it's
Colorado.
I think it's a split between betting against Chicago and betting for Barrios.
all right. I'm going to do what Scooter didn't have the cojones to do. I'm taking Brady Singer and the Cincinnati Reds at home. Miami's starting a guy named Jansen Junk.
He throws a lot of junk.
What a terrible name for a pitcher. Junk.
That's a great name
No.
for a pitcher, John.
No, Heater is a great name for a pitcher. Right? Heater. Or a great name for a pitcher we're going to have in birthdays. Let's do birthdays.
Tell me we got some good ones, Johnny.
No, nothing great. Scooter meter is open. And I'm going to start the Scooter meter. Tony, don't make a reaction.
Okay, I will have it straight.
With Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall.
He doesn't know who Shelley Duvall is. God.
Shelley Duvall was in The Shining. She was in Popeye
But
with Robin Williams.
Cheers.
No.
I got the
Shelley
wrong-
Long.
Oh, okay.
Shelley Duvall.
Oh, I know who Shelley
From The
Duvall is.
Shining.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Shelley Duvall is a certified 1-star.
I can't believe you went that high. Oh, that's just mean. Shelley Duvall was born on this date, 1949. She passed away last year. Really good actress. And considering what she looked like, I'm surprised she even got her foot in the door. But she was great in The Shining.
I don't know why. I was thinking
She, of course, here's how you know what she looks like. She played Olive Oil in the Popeye movie.
That's exactly what came to me.
So that's all you need.
After I got confused with Shelley Long.
Tracy Reiner is 61 today. Rob Reiner's daughter. She was in A League of Their Own. She played Betty Spaghetti in A League of Their Own.
Yikes. We'll give her 1.5.
Did he say yikes first?
I did.
He's only half a point ahead of Shelley Duvall.
Neither are great.
That's all I got for the women. Well, I got one more for you in the sports portion.
Oh, we never get any sports women.
Jim Gaffigan, 59 today, comedian, funny guy, very pale guy. In fact, one of his specials is called Beyond the Pale.
Kind of dry humor.
Ringo Starr, the Sir Ringo Starr, former Beatles drummer, 85 today.
He was so glad he had the other 3 guys.
Yeah, he wasn't considered. Now, he sang Yellow Submarine. That was one of his vocal performances.
Us 3 could have sang.
We all live in a yellow submarine. Yeah, I think we could. All right, sports-wise, Lisa Leslie. I think probably
This ought to be good.
Probably Scooter's kind.
I know what I'm thinking.
She's 53 today, by the way, former WNBA player.
I mean, she's no Candace Parker, but Lisa's a solid 3.
I thought you were going 3.5.
Yeah, at least. I thought he would, too.
3.5.
She's 53 today. Ralph Sampson. He won Player of the Year in
2 years,
college
didn't he?
3 years in a row at Virginia. He's 65 today, 7'4".
Injuries brought him down, too.
Yeah, he played for the Rockets, though. He was on the Rockets finals team.
Next to Akeem.
Yeah, he was the 4.
Yeah.
Akeem was the 5. Chris Anderson, you know who that is?
Chris Anderson, I should.
The Birdman.
Oh.
More tattoos than any athlete ever. He's 47 today.
Loved his game. He was Dennis Rodman.
Yes.
Of his day.
Played for the Heat, actually, among other teams.
Championship team, didn't he?
He played for the Nuggets, too. I think he might have been on a Heat title team with LeBron. Yeah. Chase Claypool, one of Scooter's favorites, 27 today.
Yeah.
Making a comeback, isn't he?
Couldn't catch a cold.
Was
Right?
he with the Bears?
I think he was. I think they got rid of him.
I think I read today he's coming back.
Well, maybe.
He's making a comeback.
27. Former Louisville Cardinal quarterback, male Bulldog Chris Redmond, 48 today. Satchel Paige.
Was 272 today.
He pitched when he was in his 50s.
Played in the Negro League, played in the Major Leagues.
Born on this date, 1906. Would have been 119 today. Didn't make it, but he did make it. Yeah, his famous quote was, "Don't look back. Somebody might be catching up to you." Nathaniel Lowe, if you want a home run today, Scooter. Nathaniel Lowe of the Rays?
Or the
Or is he
Nationals.
the
Nationals.
Nationals.
Do they play today? They may not play. They don't play today. So,
He's got
sorry.
13 on the year, though.
He's 30 today. Today's his 30th birthday. Chuck, new kids on the knob block.
Oh. Had trouble. Him and Sachs had a little trouble throwing from second
throwing him
base.
from second to first. Former Yankee, World Series winner, 57.
All-star, leadoff hitter.
And Scooter, our name of the day, you brought him up last week. I don't know who he pitches for. Richard Lovelady. Good old Dick Lovelady. It's 28 today. Who's he pitch for?
I think the Mets.
Richard Lovelady. I wouldn't have never put this on here. I saw it today, and I went, Scooter brought him up last week.
Yeah, it is the Mets.
Tommy Trumpet have a song for him?
I don't know. All right, Yankees and Mets. The Mets won the first 2 games this weekend, 6-5 and 12-6. Yankees salvaged game 3 of the 3-game set, 6-4. Hey, the Yankees are not. I said this early in the year. The Yankees are not very good. They are now out of first place. Toronto has replaced them
Where'd they come
in
from?
first place. Toronto swept the Angels this weekend at home. They're good, but I said early in the year, I don't think the Yankees are good because who is going to protect Aaron Judge getting at bats? And last year, that was Juan Soto. Soto was hitting ahead of Judge, and he got great pitches to hit. And then when they put him behind Judge, Judge got great pitches to hit. There's nobody. Cody Bellinger is hitting behind Aaron Judge. Teams are now walking Aaron Judge with nobody on base intentionally. Like Barry Bonds. He's getting the Barry Bonds treatment, Tony.
Shouldn't he? Would you pitch to him?
No. And you know what? I look at my TV. He had a home run in the first inning against the Mets. Nobody on, 2 outs the other night. And I was looking at my watch. I'm yelling at my TV. My wife thinks I'm crazy upstairs. Who are you yelling at? Why are you pitching to him? And then he hits a home run. Put him on.
I mean, it's only 1 run.
Yeah, if it's only 1 run, I don't have an issue with it, unless it's a 1-run game. But
Well-
then you put the tying run on and you put the winning run at the plate. And it's kind of hard to do.
They were playing, I guess it was Toronto last week.
It was the Reds, wasn't it? When you were
No, it was
at the TV.
Thursday. It was a 4-game set. So they were playing.
Okay, well, there was a game you said that you were mad they Reds pitched to him and hit a home run.
Yes. But they were playing Toronto. And, I mean, John Schneider, the manager. John Schneider was the guy in Dukes of Hazzard, but this is John Schneider as well, I think. He walked him intentionally with nobody on in a tight, it's a tight game. You're not going to walk him when it's 6-0. You're going to pitch to him. But it was a tight game, and nobody on base, 2 outs. Put him on. Why not? Why not? But the Mets don't do that. I don't know how good of a manager the Mets have in Mendoza. But the Mets should be really, really good. Because Soto's hitting ahead of he's batting second, and then they got somebody in between him. It's Lindor, then Soto. Then they usually have either Nimmo or somebody like that, and then Pete Alonso hitting fourth. Polar Bear hit a couple of home runs on Saturday that were just bombs.
Not even going to do the home run contest.
He's not playing this year?
Mm-mm.
He's had a good run in it, though.
I texted John the
give
other
somebody
night.
else a chance.
Before the weekend, I texted John Scooter. Glad Guerrero was up and hit one off of the second or third level. And I texted John. Looks like he's swinging a wiffle ball. Gee.
Love Vladdy.
Big Dumper's in the home run contest.
Yes. And James Wood.
And Ronald Acuna.
And Acuna. That's the three that have been confirmed.
I think last night I was watching the Cubs game, and I think they confirmed Matt Olson of the Braves is going to do it as well. Now, you get two Braves. The game is in Atlanta. The Braves are having a horrible – remember a week ago when I said watch out for the Braves? I was wrong.
You didn't say watch out for the Guardians, did you?
I did not, because they stink too.
They've lost 10 straight. They're 0-10 in their last 10 games.
When Jose Ramirez, I think, was 0 for 21 until he hit a homer the other day. When he's 0 for 21, they got nobody else that can pick up the slack there.
And
Carlos Santana, they got nobody.
And Scoot took the Blue Jays, who've won 9 out of their last 10, Scoot. And you know what? What happened when you bet on Ronald Acuna to win the MVP?
Tore his ACL, didn't he?
Thanks for the reminder.
So Toronto sweeps the Angels 4-3-10, 4-3-11, and 3-2. So they're not blowing them out, but a win is a win is a win, and the Blue Jays are in first place. You mentioned 9 out of 10, I think you just said.
You just write it
Yeah,
down,
listen.
don't you? You just write it down, don't you?
And they're in Chicago to play the White Sox for 3. I mean, letdown theory here? I know you took Toronto, Scooter, but letdown. We're just playing the White Sox.
Scooter's playing the odds on that one.
He sure is.
I like my odds.
Seattle swept Pittsburgh. I'm not saying the Pirates' offense stinks. 6-0, 1-0, 1-0.
Skeens gets
It's like
no
a
runs.
tennis match. Nobody got any runs.
I know it. but
Pittsburgh did not score this weekend.
There was 8 runs scored in that whole
8
series.
runs. Guess what? I didn't hit any overs this weekend.
You got
I wonder why.
You got Paul Skeens. You only need 2 runs or even 1.
Can't get it. Can't get it. So Seattle sweeps that series. Detroit, you mentioned, swept Cleveland. Scuba was great yesterday, but it was. This is why I bet the over, Scooter. It was 0-0 going to the 8th inning. 7-2 was the final in 10 innings. Each team scored a run, and then the Tigers went nuts in the top of the 10th inning.
Cardinals had a big game, didn't they?
Who's that?
Cardinals.
Oh. They won the middle game of that series over the Cubs, but they got beat 11-3 and 11-0 in the other 2 games.
Did you all hear the rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ballpark"?
Last night?
Yeah.
No, I turned it on.
I was watching.
I went to a different game.
I was
It was
watching a
horrible.
movie.
I went to. Who was it?
I don't even know who it was, but it was. She couldn't have done any worse.
That's not good.
Hey,
That's never good. I can't watch. Eddie Perez was doing the game last
Yeah,
night,
I know you can't.
and I just can't listen to Eddie.
Did you all see the veteran, the 102-year-old veteran, throw out the first pitch
Yes.
of a Mariners game?
Yes.
That was awesome. That dude was sharp. They were talking to him. He stood up on his cane and threw it bounce.
He
but
stood
threw
on
it.
his cane?
Stood up
That would be. And he's 102, Scooter. He stood up on his cane. Unbelievable.
with.
I know what you mean. Houston, I mentioned, swept the Dodgers. 18-1, 6-4, 5-1. I know the Dodgers had a lot of pitching issues and injuries. Max Muncy got hurt. He's out for about a month here. Are they
Joey's batting
are
average
they
has gone way down.
Are they still the favorites in the National League?
I think so.
With my Cubs having the best record in the league? I don't know.
That definitely says.
And
that
this
the
for
Dodgers
Jim out in the
did.
hallway. Boston swept the Nationals this weekend.
And he
That's
got
why
their
they all
coach
got
fired.
Back at it tomorrow. Matt Dennison's next. Thanks for listening. Spears on Sports presented by M&M Cartage. Big X.
This is Kentuckiana's only locally owned sports talk. The Big X, AM 1450 and 96.1 FM, WXVW Jeffersonville. The Mike Rutherford Show, brought to you by United Mechanical.
How does a Valentine's Day date with Scott Drew and the Baylor Bears sound? I love this. I feel like there's legitimate beef between us and Baylor right now. We get to go down to Texas on Valentine's Day, see the guy who said thanks but no thanks to us, take on the fan base that said, we are everything that you guys used to be, and hopefully put them in a blender. We're going to stuff you in a washing machine and hit spin.
Weekday afternoons at 2:30 on the Big X Sports Radio.
T.A. Jenkins and T.A. Jenkins Company, LLC, proud sponsor of high school basketball on the Big X. Call Terry Jenkins at 812-989-7381 for your residential and commercial construction needs. Design, build, or remodel, it's T.A. Jenkins Company, LLC, located in New Albany. Email Terry at tajenkins@tajenkinsco.com. That's Ginkins. T.A. Jenkins Company.
At 812-288-6691. Walnut Ridge Landscape and Design, when design is key.
There's not a better feeling to have a smile on your face after getting your car serviced. That's how it works at Consolidated Tire and Auto Care. Serving Kentuckiana for over 3 decades, fixing brakes, putting tires on, and servicing your car. And now, from a new and improved location at 3305 Preston Highway. Want to get your car running right and keep it that way? Get to Consolidated Tire and Auto Care, 3305 Preston Highway. Got a question? You can call them at 456-2220. Consolidated Tire and Auto Care, total car care, and the best brake job in town.
Spring is here, and it's time to hit the greens at Elk Run Golf Club, one of the best public courses in Kentuckiana, just minutes from downtown Louisville. Stop by our pro shop to check out the latest spring arrivals, new apparel, golf accessories, and everything you need to play in style. Planning a special event? Our clubhouse is perfect for weddings, reunions, business meetings, and more. Book your tee time now at elkrungolfclub.com and make this season unforgettable at Elk Run Golf Club.
Hey there, business owners and church leaders. Want to reach more people in your community? Advertise your business or promote your ministry program on our stations? With our wide reach of radio stations, you'll connect with thousands of listeners every single day. Don't miss out on this opportunity. I'm Barbara Carter. Let's make your message heard. Give me a call at 502-345-9017. That's 502-345-9017.
The plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC technicians of Local 502's commitment to excellence can be seen in our community every day. The KFC Yum Center, Ford Motor Company, and the Omni Hotel are just a few examples of their professional craftsmanship. Local 502 has been part of our community for over a century and invests over $1 million annually training skilled local workers. Members of Local 502 are your friends, neighbors, and children's coaches. For more information, go to lu502.com. Local 502, built on excellence, building a better tomorrow.
We'll see more clouds overhead this afternoon with highs near 90 degrees and some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Some of these thunderstorms can produce some heavy rain and some gusty winds as they move on by. Once we get into tonight, we'll quickly dry out with lows in the 60s and low 70s. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
This forecast was brought to you by AirServe, locally owned and operated. Schedule your appointment today at aireserv.com.
Welcome to the Hoosier Report with Matt Dennison.
It's Indiana.
Watford for the win! Yes!
Your daily home for complete coverage of the Indiana Hoosiers and sports from a Southern Indiana perspective.
Welcome to Indiana basketball.
Smart takes the shot, and the Hoosiers with 3 seconds go ahead. Indiana wins the championship. Keith Smart is the hero.
When my time on earth is gone and my activities here are past, I want they bury me upside down and my critics can kiss my...
Now here's your host, Matt Dennison.
It's Indiana, what I feel is the pinnacle, the absolute pinnacle of all of college basketball.
Hello, welcome in. Monday edition of the show. Glad to have you with us. Complete coverage of the Indiana Hoosiers and sports from a Southern Indiana perspective hopefully you had a great Independence Day and a good weekend, a good holiday, maybe some fireworks as well. But glad to get back to it today and get into a routine. So glad you're with us. And as always, when we have a long weekend or a little bit of an extended break, we've got plenty to get into today. So glad you're with us. And basketball's back, by the way. The NBA summer stuff is underway, and the TBT, the tournament for $1 million, which has been a lot of fun with Louisville and Kentucky, and of course now the Indiana alumni teams, among others. That gets underway, I think, middle of next week. So looking forward to the return of hoops here in Kentuckiana, which is almost a year-round thing, but we like any and all hoops. So glad we got some of that going on here. Let's look at the show lineup today, a service of Honey Baked Ham in New Albany. Segment 1, our Hoosier headlines, a summary of the day's top IU and Southern Indiana sports news. We'll get to a number of things, a couple recruiting notes on basketball, a couple football commitments as well, which football recruiting has just been rolling here for Indiana, so we'll catch up on all of that. Also, we finally got the word, according to a couple sources out there, on Anthony Leal and what his roster status will be for the coming basketball season, and we'll share that with you if you haven't already seen it, coming up here in just a bit, and some other things that we'll cover here in this opening segment of the show. And of course, our guest today on the Elk Run Golf Club hotline on Mondays, we have Zach Osterman of the Indianapolis Star, who will catch up on all things IU with us. And then later in the show, Chad Gilbert, the Charlestown High School Athletic Director. Chad's a member of the IHSA Executive Committee, and so he's with us on Mondays as we put the spotlight on local sports. We talk a lot of high school stuff in this segment. We talk a lot of basketball as well with Chad, and we're in the middle of the summer. It's July. We're coming out of a dead week where athletes couldn't practice or do workouts or have any connection to their school program at all, which is a great thing. A break is always a needed thing. And so we'll catch up with Chad on everything going on, even though it's slower during this time. And then later today, those are our guests today, but we've got some great guests coming later in the week as well, including a couple new guests, at least one-time guests that are set to join us here this week. So stay tuned for those announcements coming up. That's the lineup, a service of Honey Baked Ham in New Albany. Check them out today for a great lunch. They've got a wonderful ham sandwich, mac and cheese